Out at Disneyland, big news. They have finally announced that California Adventure, part of that Downtown Disney expansion, well, they are officially opening up Buena Vista Street, and with a date to go along with it, finally. I think we were all anticipating something perhaps a little sooner, but it looks like Buena Vista Street at California Adventure is part of Downtown Disney's expansion process. Is happening on November the 19th and will include some popular restaurants as well as some retail establishments, really helping to provide that extra space to spread out for Downtown Disney, that extra capacity that they have been so looking forward to. Very thrilled to hear that we finally have a date, that it is happening, and now we can plan for it. Katrina,
Wait.
November 19th, did you think it was going to be any sooner than that?
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be, because they made it sound like beginning of November, just you wait. And then, so I was like, I don't know, maybe like that Friday or something, they're probably going to open it up. And then I was like, oh, the middle of the month in November? On a Thursday?
The middle of the month.
Yeah, it's like I was like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, I'm okay with it, honestly. I'm excited. I'm waiting for reservations to start because popular restaurants are right. Carthay Circle's opening. So I'm ready to go. I'm just checking every day.
Yeah, I look every day for reservations to Carthay Circle.
I have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Have you really? You're doing it for 3, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
4, I guess Kurt can come too.
Well, if Kurt wants to join us,
we got to do 5 for 6 for Stacy and Stitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The whole family.
He gets his whole seat to himself. But
Stitch, the dog, and the wife.
I'm super stoked. Because you can't. They have to do reservations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't just like open it, you know.
A table service restaurant like that, I would imagine, would have to have reservations.
I really hope so, because you can't just have everybody's going to want to go there, obviously. So you can't just have like a big line outside like they used to do with the lounge. It's just not going to work,
and
especially with these new menus, especially with the new entrees is what I was about to say, because it's going to take people longer to sit there than. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But I just feel like if you're going to be eating, you're going to need to have a reservation. All the other Downtown Disney places do reservations. So it just makes sense to me. But we shall see.
Well, it'll be nice to have it back on board, along with things like Award Wieners is coming back.
I didn't know that they were going to open that, because like in the beginning article, they didn't mention Award Wieners. And then on this article, they did. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, that's okay. Like, more people have places to eat. You know, now we have to find places to sit and eat said stuff.
What I see happening now is, knowing that Award Wieners is going to be open, is that that's going to now stretch back into the Hollywood backlot and Stage 17, which is reopened as a premiere shop that we know about. And I think it's going to be one giant like U-shape at this point, where you can access at all different angles. So that'll be nice. I'm sure we'll see maybe a one direction in, one direction out sort of situation. But I definitely see more of the California Adventure space opening up. I'm really glad to hear that they have pushed down into the Hollywoodland section. So that just tells me that likely we're going to see more of that park opened up as we venture into 2021.
Maybe like in the beginning of the year or something, when like the holiday crowds kind of died down, they're able to like slowly open things up. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I don't think I've ever been so excited to see Hollywoodland.
Yeah.
I like the Tea Party time, but Mad Tea Party was fun. But besides that.
Disneyland Resort is also sending cancellation notices to hotel guests and people that had booked through November the 21st. We have seen this week to week. We report on it every time we hear an update. So keep in mind, every week you hear from us that reservations once again canceled through now November the 21st. So if you had hotel reservations, you're probably going to be getting an email, if you haven't already, to let you know that the hotels will not be available for you as we venture towards the end of November. Hopefully we will see some hotel action soon. I would like to see California Adventure being so close to the Grand Californian Hotel. I'd like to see the Grand open up in some capacity.
It'd be nice to see their new spa that they maybe have finished, possibly.
Bring that
question mark. I want to go to Trader Sam's.
Yeah?
I know. That's like the hard part.
I miss Trader Sam's so much.
He almost cried.
I'm going to cry.
No tears.
His voice just cracked.
At least we get to go back to Carthay Circle.
At least there's that.
Because there's like, they can do Napa Rose. There's like a lot of space in there. They can open up their new bar. There's not really a lot of space in that new bar area in Napa, but I feel like if they just opened up like that one hotel, one in, one out kind of thing, I think that'd be nice. People would pay, I feel like, to go there. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
No, I definitely
all 3
think
hotels, they wouldn't. I don't think they would make a lot of money with all 3 hotels, but at least one, and it's like their highest level one, would be actually a pretty good deal. Like, I mean, If they open like the club level and stuff, I feel like that'd be really cool too. I'd be like, shit, I'll go.
I'm surprised with the allowance of indoor dining now in the state that we're not seeing hotel restaurants reopen, especially going towards Thanksgiving. It's such a big day for hotel restaurants. And so kind of surprising. I mean, it's a place that I make a part of my tradition every year. Every Thanksgiving, I'm at a Disney hotel restaurant.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. What are you going to do?
Oh, no.
This
you have
year,
to
I didn't think
cook.
about that.
I'm going to a place elsewhere in Orange County
okay.
now, and it's not Disney themed, unfortunately, but they're open and serving a Thanksgiving meal. So now we will have to venture on off.
How devastating. You loved their stuffing and stuff.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they have a lot for you.
I'm sure they will.
Okay.
Yeah, but to not have those hotel restaurants online is, I think, kind of a missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
Downtown Disney has been so popular since its return,
Mm-hmm.
and every day, you know, they get to the point where it's pretty crowded and they need to stop letting people in, and weekends especially overwhelmed. Everybody wants to go to downtown Disney, and to not kind of see what's on the horizon in terms of you know, potentially opening up those restaurants at the hotels, because they're such signature experiences. All of them are all so unique. It's unfortunate to see that it's not happening.
I feel like if they opened up Trader Sam's, it would be just freaking booming
Yes, it
every
would.
day.
But it would be
I
bad
just-
though, because then everybody just wants to like get in there and like see the interior and stuff. I love it. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, they could just do patio seating. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really not.
They
They've got a big
could.
patio, and they could even expand the patio because the hotel's not in service. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's just
That's true. That's very true. But
What a point he made.
I know. Fine.
okay. Sorry, I'm
win.
so sorry that I made sense. Okay,
Yeah,
You
that's
win.
enough out of you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. We're
love me, Christmas tree.
We're shutting down that logic. Thank you. Elsewhere in downtown Disney, other news that has been reported is it sounds like a parking fee is returning since downtown Disney has officially reopened. Parking fees and parking charges have been sort of suspended in that time frame where nobody's really had to worry about it. It's been complimentary, and something that Disney was kind of getting, you know, very, I would say, popular for is increasing the price tag on their parking spots across the property, because anybody coming to visit Disneyland, that was something that they could incrementally raise month to month, year to year. And downtown Disney parking was going up every year, as was traditional parking for anybody looking to park for the theme parks. So to have had that complimentary parking be placed in the downtown Disney area as they officially reopen was a nice touch. However, that does open it up to absolutely everyone with a car to come flooding in, and oftentimes they would have to close their parking, especially on weekends as things got too popular. So now a $10 parking fee sounds to be on its way, and we also saw recently the self-parking pay booth, if you will, or they almost look like little fast pass machines, and you have to now pay up front before you depart, and so that is now coming into the fray. So $10, I would only imagine that it's going to go up from here. We're going to be paying for parking again at Disneyland.
I'm sad, but also like, I don't know, if it does end up weeding people out, then I'll be happy. So I'm like kind of in the middle right now. I'm kind of like, you know, it was nice to be able to just drive in and just go to a restaurant you want to go to or whatever, but hopefully it does keep people away, because it, like you said, they have to close down their parking lot from time to time, and sometimes downtown Disney feels a little crowded, so it would be nice to kind of weed out the people who are just kind of there to get their kind of Disney feeling and then leave, you know, but because I feel like it should be reserved for people who want to eat at the restaurants or even shopping, I guess. But yeah, hopefully it weeds people out.
Yeah, not just the folks
Likewise.
that come and hang out all day and don't really do much. And
Yeah. And you're right. It's only going to go up from here.
Mhm.
Like $10 is very fair. I
Right.
feel like if they're going to open up like part of DCA and like get more dining opportunities started, I feel like that's just very fair. And it's probably going to go up maybe if it starts getting abused a lot more. If they start like they're not able to handle the parking situation, it's probably going to
Sure.
go up to 20.
I feel like they should start charging by the time again. Like I think
Yeah.
that would actually be if this is all about, well, I know it's all about making money, but if kind of one of the nice things about it is it's going to keep some people away, I think they also need to do it by time again, because
But that might hurt them now because they want people to stay and buy stuff.
But then new people could come in and buy stuff, you know. It would, so and then they could even just be making more money if there's a minimum fee to even get in. But
and as we remember before, you know, COVID made everything odd. You know, originally you were able to, for the longest time, come and visit Downtown Disney with a 3-hour grace period, right? For the longest time, that was what was in existence, and you were able to enjoy that. Disney started toying around with that in recent years, and then prices started going up, and time limits started to shrink, and they started doing different things. But
they were fair with the validation. I feel like they did, like at the end, it was like if you dined at one of the restaurants, you got 5 hours.
Yeah.
So that worked for Tyler and I, because we'd be like, oh, we'll just park at Downtown Disney. We're always going to eat dinner there. So we would always just get 5 hours. So it'd be fine. But if they did that, I'd be okay with it.
I mean, they had to do it when the park was open for sure, because they didn't want people parking there instead of going to Mickey and Friends if they were going to spend their time at the theme parks. Like, that made complete sense to me. But, you know, I guess it would be kind of a bummer if they were charging by time again, and then you had to wait in the line to get into World of Disney or something like that, and then your time was all of a sudden up, you know. But I mean, maybe these places could also offer validation so that people just aren't sitting around, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think after a certain point, you're going to see the time limit restriction being put back into effect, because Disney, I know, is already struggling to, on the weekends in particular, they're already struggling to deal with the just overwhelming nature of the crowds that would like to get into Downtown Disney. And reminder, everything is kept, you know, capped as a capacity marker. So that's the only way that they can operate and function at the moment, is by doing that. So I think that the moment Disney becomes serious about, all right, it's really about efficiency, moving people in and out for the sake of giving folks more of an experience, or, you know, allowing them to come in, get what they need, and go. I think we'll start to see that time limit creep back in. I was going to say crunch time a little bit more for people. So I think it'll be creeping back in sooner rather than later. But $10 coming your way very soon at Downtown Disney for a parking spot. Mayors across California have come together to pen a letter to the California State Governor to essentially say, your guidelines for Disneyland and theme parks of that size to reopen, they are a little much, and might end up having to push out reopening theme parks and dramatically impacting all things associated with those theme parks, not just jobs, but the economies around these theme parks. You might be pushing that out to more than a year before we could see these theme parks reopen. In a statement, these mayors ended up saying the guidelines put forth by your administration were released within the framework of prioritizing public health and safety for guests and employees. That is the right focus. However, economic and public health are not mutually exclusive goals. We are concerned that the state's guidelines would push reopening of large theme parks up to a year out, which would have significant negative impacts on hundreds of thousands of jobs, thousands of small businesses, and billions in operating revenue for our cities. The mayor of Anaheim obviously signed on to this. San Diego's mayor, we saw the mayor of San Jose, mayor of Fresno, mayor of Bakersfield, mayor of Riverside, mayor of Santa Ana, and most surprisingly to me, the mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, who to a certain degree has been kind of very supportive of lockdowns and very aggressive in the approach across the city of, ensuring nothing happens outside of, the lockdown structure. So I really thought of all the mayors on the list, he would be most supportive of the governor's initiative here and really kind of side with him on this. I was shocked to see his name. So this is great news, because this shows how bipartisan of an issue this is and how concerning it is for these mayors across the state, especially because they're all located in and around major theme parks, in and around major facilities that are sort of smacked by these regulations. So very interesting to me to see how these mayors have come together to say, you might be a little short-sighted here, Katrina.
I agree that it was surprising to see him do it, but then in the end, I'm not surprised that Mayor Garcetti signed it, because he was all about Universal and he was all about tourism. He's all about people visiting Los Angeles. He's so proud of Los Angeles. So going back to there was a press event that you even went to, and then Garcetti was there and he was talking and he was talking about the future goals and what he wanted to do. So for him to sign this, I was not surprised, because if he did not sign this, I would be livid because that everything he was so passionate about at this press event about tourism, about Universal bringing all this tourism back to LA and all this stuff, and then he didn't sign it, I'd be like, ooh,
Yeah.
you
We
make
thought
me
that,
mad.
we thought that they were going to try and turn Universal Studios into more of a resort with like all of the hotels being like a major part of it, you know, things like that. Maybe even like a second theme park eventually. The way that Garcetti was talking, it seemed like very likely that they were in the works to do things with the city, and none of that stuff panned out. And now this, so I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, hearing Garcetti signing that thing, that makes complete sense to me. You know, we've talked about this stuff before, and obviously Newsom is ignorant to the subject or has some type of weird pride on the line or something like that, where he just doesn't understand that these places have the capabilities to be the safest places to actually be, because they're private businesses and they care so much about the people that are going there. They not only care about, they don't want to hurt anybody, but also they have a reputation to uphold. So out of every business I've been to since this whole pandemic started, Disney World felt like the most professional and safe to me, despite the amount of people around. Now, sometimes you're going to get people who aren't necessarily obeying the rules or whatever, but the cast members were just incredible out there at getting people to follow the rules and not being rude about it, and they are very careful. And I just feel like Newsom, again, there's some type of ignorance going on here, that he just can't get with the picture. And the fact that all these mayors are on board with this is just like, dude, come on, admit you're making a mistake eventually here, because the thousands and thousands of people are losing their jobs. Small businesses are going out. It's not just Disney. Disney's huge, yeah, but all these little small people around Anaheim, around all these around Universal Studios, they're just being sent into the ground. And we need to be safe, but we also need to remember that we've got to come out of this alive at the end.
Right.
I mean, it's really that simple.
I mean, like, California is a tourist place. I mean, they have ads everywhere to visit California. And then because California has so many different opportunities, there's, you know, the north, there's the south, there's the desert, there's whatever, there's the beaches. There's so many things. And so for him to like literally like poop on all of California and not open it, you're like ruining every single city. Like, it doesn't matter about the theme parks. Like what Tyler said, it's all about the employees that work there. It's all about the little businesses that feed off of all of this, like off the big people, you know?
It's just, you know, I would understand, and we've talked about it, but I would understand if this was like a sweeping thing for like a lot of different types of businesses. But really at this point, theme parks are the only ones getting the shaft.
Yeah,
like
singled out.
It's really just insane to me. I just can't believe I can go to a movie theater and I can't go to Disneyland. It's just really incredible. And even to the point where places like Knott's Berry Farm and now Buena Vista Street are opening, and it's like, how can you say that is safe, but then if you're sitting on a moving bench that has like, like a ride basically, then that's not safe? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's insane. It's insanity.
We definitely saw, as of probably a week or so ago, 2 lawmakers from the state of California challenge the governor's executive orders and the emergency powers within court. That has been upheld, as a matter of fact. And so it sounds like at this point, while it doesn't directly impact the theme park decree, anything moving forward in terms of emergency power orders coming from the governor now have to be, it sounds like, reviewed by the state legislator and approved. That's good news, because we've made the case here several times that it does feel like theme parks are being singled out. And when using the emergency power that the governor has, which all governors are using right now due to the pandemic, you have to apply the measurements fairly across the board. And for the longest time, there was a path for all businesses to reopen unless you were a theme park. And it wasn't even given to the theme parks until just recently. And now it's in a position where the criteria is so far out in terms of being able to be met that it doesn't even make sense, to the point now that you're seeing mayors come together across the state, including the most powerful of all being Mayor Garcetti of Los Angeles, to say, look, we need to reconsider this here, and we're hoping that through all of our effort, you'll see the same thing. So we can only hope that maybe this will move the needle. Maybe as all of these city executives come together to talk to the state executive and say, can you please think about this? And maybe we can come to some sort of agreement. Otherwise, maybe we will see something change moving forward.
to this happy place, welcome.